Today's Thursday, it's the 14th of August, it's 2025, and we've come for a little walk around Newcastle and we're going to have some lunch. And the first place, well, right behind us, got a bit of significance for us. So the significance was, Anita and I started going out when we were just 17, and our 18th birthday, either Anita's or my 18th birthday, I think it might have been Anita's, we took her out for dinner, and this is where we went. It's now all closed up and changed into something else. It used to be called the Wine Vaults, which was a pub on the right-hand side, but they had a restaurant which was up above. I'm guessing where that window was, and that used to be the restaurant. And Anita and I came for dinner to celebrate her birthday. It's all changing here. Across the road, I think last time we came they were doing the demolishing. Looks like that's been done now. They've got to do the rebuilding. This is where the Wine Vaults was, and it's now an estate agent. And the restaurant was all up above. How things have changed, and that's certainly across there. That's changed a lot. There was all shops across the bottom. They've all been cleared, and Angela's saying it's been converted into accommodation. So, well, we'll have a look next time we come to see what progress has been made. Just down there, Clement Wain. You can see it. We've just been walked through a subway which has got photographs of old Newcastle and Clement Wain, which used to be a chemist, a pharmacy. I think it's now a tea room. We actually have been to a tea room there, but it also used to sell cameras, and so it was a focus of attention for me years ago. I used to go and always admire the cameras that were in there. Obviously, I was a young lad, I didn't have any money, couldn't afford them, but I could admire them. Lloyds Bank never actually was our bank, even though we used it a lot. And then on this side, this used to be the NatWest, something else now, the bank space, wheelhouse, video conference, tea rooms, lovely buildings, banks always are. And then a shopping centre down there, which is called the Roebuck Shopping Centre, which just has its ups and downs. And this sort of semi-pedestrianised walkway is called the Iron Market. As a boy, this was never pedestrianised. In fact, buses used to come up and down here, and the main bus stops were halfway up here. And if I came down to Newcastle or was going to go back on the bus, this is perhaps where I would catch the bus. Wouldn't dream of it now, though. It's just it's only a very short walk. Nice photos there of the Queen. In fact, both of them, Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth. The gardens just down here is called Queen's Gardens, and actually has a statue of Queen Victoria, and now has a statue of Queen Elizabeth. That used to be a walkway that went through to the next road and had another gallery of shops and one of the oldest pubs in Newcastle. I think the pub is still there, but as you can see, that's where the demolition work is proceeding. Maybe they're going to take it all down, I don't know. But this is the old Bull's Head on the right here. Anita and I definitely had a drink or two in there. Lovely flowers. This is something they've done each year for the past few years in Newcastle. They've been doing lots of lovely flower displays, part of the Britain in Bloom initiative that started a few years ago, and Newcastle was a contender at one time. I don't know if they ever won it, but they still do a good job. Still beautiful flowers, adds a little bit of colour as we walk through, and the trees lining here. This, as I said earlier on, this was a bus route, so buses used to come through here. It's called Yates. It wasn't called Yates years ago. Keele in town. Keele is our local university. And that's Keele in town. I guess a lot of students from Keele now live in Newcastle. Was never so much the case. Keele is a campus university, and most students used to live there, but I guess quite a few live out of the campus now. So, timber building, that's the Georgian Dragon across there.
That's what I want to instill into
Dean up here, so we've got to walk around. Hole in the ground. Looks like
Yeovil, isn't it?
Looks like it might be a deep one. Well, I don't know, Newcastle's always been quite nice, I think. And this work was done many, many years ago, and I think that's just an unusual occurrence.
about 27. I found under an 8.
The road down to the right is completely pedestrianised. You don't get any cars going down there. And that's where most of the shops are now. This is, again, something that wasn't like this when we lived here. This is relatively new. People who live here will say it's been here forever. And you forget that we've been out of here for over 40 years now.
We actually watch your channel.
You do watch it?
Yeah, I don't watch it. What's your channel? What is it? Do you want to say your name?
What?
I'm Lauren. I'm Eva.
And it's nice to see you having a... What's that you're eating?
Oh wow.
I'm not sure that's on my diet, but I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Have a look at the video. Bye.
Well, first stop, coffee shop. And we've got they're really quite gigantic, the coffees over here. I think this is a medium, isn't it? Yeah. And they are huge. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be all right. Well, I've left the ladies in the coffee house there, and I'm just going to have a little walk around. This building has changed dramatically since I lived here. It used to be a lovely old building, which is in one of the old photographs that I've taken. But then it got converted to a new building, became the library. So this used to be the library where Anita and I did much of our studying when we were doing our A-levels many, many years ago. And we'd come down here in the morning and then go across the road to the Queen's Gardens, which is where I'm heading in the moment. And we'd have our picnic. We'd bring some sandwiches. But that is quite different. I'm going to have to stand back a bit to get a photograph. This building used to be the post office. In fact, that's where my father used to work. So that would be the entrance to the post office where you would go and get served. And the gate there, the black gate, would lead you down to the sorting offices. Now it's called the Arnold Nature. And not a post office anymore. Now a Wetherspoons pub. So I'm just going down into Queen's Gardens. They are beautiful gardens, and always have been. Oops, something going on here. We've got police cars galore. They closed the police station. Can you believe that? Here in Newcastle, they closed the police station, closed it. And they moved the police into what's now the municipal hall, like the town hall, right on the Queen's Gardens. There used to be a school there, a primary school, on that site, and the bandstand's in the corner. I might go down there in a moment. I just wanted to introduce you to the Queen, which is the Queen Victoria, which is what the gardens are actually named after. And here she is. She hasn't been here all the time. She got moved for a time to Station Walk, but she's back here now. And there she is. And in the background we've got the Castle House, which is how the library, the police station, the municipal offices, the everything. There's Queen Victoria. Step back and take a photograph, I think. There she is. We've got an ice cream van. 99. So an ice cream with a flake. My granddad used to be an ice cream man back before the Second World War. He always said he invented that. D-Day. VE Day, sorry, not D-Day, VE Day. Victory in Europe. And Castle House over there. In my day, Castle House was the co-op. There was just up, there's the Wetherspoons used to be the post office. A little bit further up there used to be a cooperative shop, and that was called Castle House. I'm going to have a look, see what the police have got on offer down here. And here's Newcastle's statue of the Queen. This one, Queen Elizabeth II, of course. With the handbag. There we go. Policeman in uniform. Different sort of uniform.
Did you get high five? Wow.
Showing how they accomplish some of their activities and some of the tools that they use. And vehicles. And they're actually protecting there the bandstand. Which, I'll try and take a photograph of, but I can't really. There we go. That used to be elevated. It's not elevated, and I'm not sure whether it's ever used as a bandstand anymore. But it's a traditional part of Newcastle and the gardens here. So I'm guessing this might be the police station now, I'm not sure. I haven't got time to go. I'll just have a walk around here. I'm going to go down Barracks Road, just point out a few things along here. I am always impressed by the gardens here in Newcastle, Queen's Gardens. So again, back in my day, that big building there is where the swimming baths were. They were closed many years ago and it was converted into apartments. And as I said, it isn't complete, but it looks as though it might be complete now. And the swimming pool moved across the road. The road there used to have a library. That's where the library was when I was a little boy. So when I used to go to the library to have stories read to me, that's where I used to go up there. And this particular road used to be the main coach terminal. And if you were going on a holiday, you'd get the coach down here. Just here we've got a roundabout. That's where all the traffic's going to. And they brightened up the roundabout by putting fountains in. People would go down and squirt washing up liquid or something, and the whole roundabout would get turned into foam. So eventually they just filled them in and there are no fountains there anymore. Sad. So another view of our library cum municipal office cum police station. It's actually called School Street where the library was. I can't actually remember a school down there. It may have been, but definitely was the library. The swimming pool, actually, the swimming bath is further up there. I'm getting confused now. I used to come to a pub here, which seems to have gone. The memory of its name has gone as well. So the roads there lead up to Basford, which is where I used to live, and Hartshill, which is where Anita used to live. And we met in between. Getting a bit breezy. Busy road this, and they've got lots of roadworks on. The red brick building just behind the bus there, that's a school. I'm going to say it is a school. I'm not sure it still is. It is a school that my brother went to. Hassel Street Nursery School it is now. It's just called Hassel Street. I think it was a primary school as well. I didn't go to that particular school. Eventually they decided they needed a proper bus terminus, and this is where the bus terminus is. This is Newcastle's bus station. It does make sense to have all the buses congregating in one place. And they've got all modern signs, electronic signs to tell you when the buses are due. This is that pedestrianised shopping street that we went for a coffee at the other end, and I guess if I waited here long enough I'd see the ladies walking down. This is now a charity shop. It was Wilco, I think, it closed down. The brightly coloured building over there used to be Wimpy's. It was when coffee bars started and burger joints, way before McDonald's even existed. I just like the way that some of the buildings here now have got these murals, these big paintings, these big pictures, and that one looks quite good. It's a big bar across there called the Foyer. It definitely wasn't the Foyer. We're just coming in now to the main part of Newcastle, which is where all the shops used to be. The shopping street I've just mentioned didn't exist. This was the main shopping street. And just look at that beautiful picture that's been done up there. I'm getting impressed by this. This is, I've always been thinking of Stoke-on-Trent as a Newcastle as being depressed, and this is definitely livening things up, making it look really quite pretty. This is market stalls. It used to be a big market town, and today would be a market day. And well, we've got a few stalls up there. I'm going to go this way first, selling mostly second-hand type things by the looks of things today. It does vary though. Poundland there used to be Woolworths. I suppose it's just gone up in value really. Woolworths used to be the sixpenny shop. Used to buy things for sixpence. So all down here, all the way to the end, there would have been market stalls.
Authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. See website for details.
is the CEX. I usually have a look in here to see if they've got any camera gear. You never know. You need to shout at me, I think, if I bought yet another camera. Well, I've just been in and they do have lots of camera gear, but none of the camera gear that I would need. So just coming up to the Golden Lion. To photograph it from a little bit further out to see places boarded up. This is a town centre. Hard to get a photograph. So just walk down a bit further. It's now called Mitchell's, named after Reginald Mitchell. Reginald Mitchell, the famous designer from Stoke-on-Trent who designed the Spitfire chip shop. Used to always get my chips from there, down in Newcastle. And even now there's a queue outside, look. Cash converters, we've got cash converters in Spain. We have them in Palma. Sometimes have cameras, so always have a little look, see what's going. You never know, do you? Computers and things. Watches, they have quite often have nice watches in here. Jewellery. Not seeing much in the way of cameras in the window. I'll go and have a look inside. Well, nothing for me today in there. Again, nice to have a look, browse around. They've got a few cameras, a few lenses, but excuse me, nothing I'd be particularly interested in. Just heading back towards the centre now. Smell the fish and chips. Bygones is like a coffee shop that we'd go to with Angela and have a coffee. It's another really interesting place. Got lots of lovely bygone things, really. It's lots like going into a museum and having a tea or a coffee next to things from the 1960s, 50s, 40s, 30s. Really lovely bit of history. Just peeping above the tree is the Newcastle Guildhall. Sure what it is now, but it used to be like the town hall, but obviously not that anymore. It's a long time ago. There's a few more market stalls along here. Not doing too bad. There's a lot of charity shops in Newcastle, and Anita and I both love our charity shops, so I'm guessing Angela's going to be dragged around now. This one's Douglas Macmillan, who do great care for people approaching the end of life. Nice to support people like that. Records, we've got the Beatles and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and both albums there that we had. Anita and I used to be avid record collectors. In fact, when we first got together, one of our hobbies really was to come down to Newcastle and go to a second-hand shop and buy second-hand records, 7-inch singles, and we carried that on. We had hundreds, thousands of them actually. Some of which we still have, most though I got rid of a few years ago at a record fair, and standing right by the Guildhall now. Just got a clock on the top. So it has been various things. The ground floor of it at one time used to be a market, and the upper floors were meeting rooms for councils, and then it's been various other things. In fact, I'm told it was once a pub. Thankfully, it's not that anymore. It's now owned and run by the Friends of the Guildhall, and it's open to the public. So I don't know if I've ever been in here. So this magnificent building. Look at that floor. Yeah, I'm just going to take a photo of the floor. I've just been chatting to a couple of chaps there in the Guildhall, and they're telling me how Newcastle's changed over the years, not necessarily for the better, and all of this development that's going on, which, well, maybe it will make it look better one day. We'll see, but I can see there's a lot of empty locales here, even charity shops gone. Wright's Pie's nice there. That's one of the things that I always enjoy when I'm in Stoke-on-Trent. If Anita lets me, they make lovely pies. Wright's Pies are the local pies, meat potato pies, steak pies and the like. Another charity shop there, that one. The air ambulance doesn't actually look very open. This is architecturally an interesting building. This is the Lancaster building, straight out of the 1950s. And that was Thomas Cook. That used to be the travel agent there. Boots the pharmacy, and I think that used to be the Midland Bank. It's now HSBC. Banks, always nice architectural buildings. Let's see if I can get Lancaster House. Those curved windows up there, steel framed windows. And then this is Boots. Anita used to work in Boots, but not this one. She used to work in the one in Hanley. This is where we came in. And that's the iron market. We went up there. So the gentleman... So there's so many flowers here today, and I've seen various official-looking type people wandering around. Apparently, it's the judging day for Britain in Bloom, which is why it's all looking so splendid. And so a couple of years ago, I think we were wandering around, and they were doing a similar sort of thing. So we came through next to what was the wine vaults.
Getting into the realms of infection.
This is totally gutted and is going to be completely redeveloped. Nice to see they have retained some of the lovely buildings. Of course, the church, that's St Giles Church there, 12 on the clock. It is a lovely building. You know, I've never been in any of these churches in Newcastle. This is Merrill Street, which had the old civic offices, the equivalent of a town hall down there. I've got a feeling that might have been demolished, but I'm not going that way at the moment. I'm just going down here because this is one of the oldest buildings in Newcastle. And it was a butcher. Is it still a butcher? I don't know. It is still a butcher. The old black and white building. And years gone by, the building on the corner there used to be a furniture shop, and that's where Angela used to work for a time. I can remember many times waiting down there in that little alleyway in a car, waiting to pick her up to take her home. This is Bridge Street, and what we used to have down here was the Bridge Street Arts, which was like a jazz club. Didn't go many times, but did go occasionally. And the second-hand shop that we spoke about, where we used to buy our records, that was actually somewhere here. Can't remember exactly where. It's all changed now. Coroner's Court, I think, down there. Vintage shop. And this building, which Anita, as we drove past, described as a monstrosity. I don't know what your opinion is. It's a car park. It's a multi-storey car park. It used to be Sainsbury's supermarket. It's now a car park. That's a brand new building. That wasn't here last time we were around. Just going to go and cross the road, as I should, at the crossing. It's another pub here, or it used to be another pub. Maybe not. It's an Indian restaurant. Corporation Street. Oh, there's the pub. I just walked past it and really didn't notice it. It's called the Gardener's Arms, but it's had various names over the years. Maybe it is, or maybe it isn't the Gardener's Arms. It used to be the Royal Coach Grey. Coach House. Full Moon in 1999. I don't know if I remember that. Newcastle Ale House. Anyway, lots of different names, and they're all listed up there. Used to come here. There used to be an electronic shop here. I used to come here and buy electronic type things. Worthington's, I think, was it? I'll go around this way, and we'll have a look to see what happened to the old council civic offices it was referred to. Which I seem to remember it as a brand new building, and now it's already been demolished by the looks of things. It was up here. The two gentlemen I was speaking to in the Guildhall were not really very happy about some of the things which had happened in the borough or in the town. So there it is. There it is, or no, there it was, it's gone. Newcastle's not the only one. Stoke-on-Trent did the same thing. They built a brand new building for the council offices. big multi-storey building. It's where I had to go to register birth of Lara on the nth floor. I remember, it was very high up. Anyway, that's all been demolished now. It's gone. And so is the civic offices. Gone. Completely empty site, waiting to be redeveloped. And then this is the redevelopment in process here. Unbelievable. So this is Merrill Street, and it's sort of like another street that somehow has been forgotten and never really been much on the shopping list to walk down Merrill Street. But it looks like there's a lot more bus stops down here than there ever used to be, so maybe people are seeing it a little bit more now. And there used to be some good butchers and grocery shops down here. So that would be my reason for coming here. Fog Street Arcade. I've never known it as Fog Street Arcade. I don't believe him. And that used to be the post office. Once the one where the pub is closed, the post office moved here. And I'll show you the police station. It's not a police station. I hope they haven't knocked that down because it's a lovely building. Oh, I've had a coffee there in the past. So this was the police station. This would be where all the police cars would be parked. And this would be the main entrance to the police station, which is now something else. Part of the Drayton Beaumont group. As you can see, just above there, the door, it says police station. There'd be blue lights up there. Across the road, we've got another fantastic. This is the Ebenezer schoolroom, Methodist schoolroom. Sorry if my camera's going all over the place. I'm just trying to work with two cameras at the moment. So that's the Ebenezer schoolroom's Sunday school, established in I think it says 1800, I can't see, there's some wires dangling down. Take some photos, they've got a blue plaque as well. And the Ebenezer Church, which would have been the Methodist church that went to this across the road there, that ceased to be in a church a long, long time ago, and for a time was an electronics shop. Used to sell things like record players and televisions. This building here used to be public toilets. Now for sale. Oh, it's 1:15, so I need to start heading back to where the ladies are. This used to be the rear entrance to the library. It's a lovely library. The ground floor would be the lending library. You could go and borrow books from there. absolutely fantastic service. And then on the upper floor was the reference library where you could go and sit and quietly read and study. And the newspapers, people used to go in just to read the newspapers or magazines. And they also had a record library, so as we were students, we couldn't afford to buy all the records we'd like to buy. We could borrow them from the library and listen to them. So we were regulars down at the library. I wonder how they did with the judges of the written in balloon. It's just a perfect temperature today, and there's a nice breeze, which is just what I need. And I said we'd meet for lunch, which is going to be an early one because they've suggested 12:30, which is very early lunch for us. It's that arcade. Let's talk about that little shopping arcade. Cancer research. Rolex shop.
Someone dropped out the comments.
Just come around the other side now of the Lancaster building. Shame if they let that one go, because that's really an iconic building. In Newcastle. And then the Roebuck Shopping Centre, which is nothing at the moment, I don't think. Not many places open in there. More or less back to where we started again. I'll catch up with you when I find the ladies. Anyway, I've caught up with Anita.
And I've got a bag of bargains.
Bag of bargains. I've got no bargains, but we're going to go for lunch now. So thanks very much for watching. See you in the next one. So bye for now.
Bye.
Come gather ye townsfolk, and hearken ye near, of a borough so bonny, so ancient and dear, where Lyme's gentle waters through meadows do flow, and Newcastle's market has stood long ago. Sing hey for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest, sing hey for the miners who toiled without rest, sing hey for the traders who came from afar, Newcastle-Under-Lyme, our bright guiding star. In the days of King Henry, a strong keep did stand, guard of the highways to Cheshire's fair land, from silver to salt, from the pottery's clay, all passed through the gates at the close of the day. Sing hey for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing hey for the miners who toiled without rest. Sing hey for the traders who came from afar. Newcastle-Under-Lyme, our bright guiding star. The drapers and smithies, the coopers and more, filled up the high street from end unto door. And under the market's great timbered roof, the bellman would cry out the news for the proof. Sing hey for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing hey for the miners who toiled without rest. Sing hey for the traders who came from afar. Newcastle-Under-Lyme, our bright guiding star. Though the castle fell silent and walls turned to dust, the heart of the borough held steady and just. And still in the square, 'neath the old market's chime, we'll drink to the health of Newcastle-Under-Lyme. Final farm, sing hey for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing hey for the miners who toiled without rest. Sing hey for the traders who came from afar. Newcastle-Under-Lyme, our bright guiding star.
Come on then, me out and pull up a cheer. I'll tell thee a tale of a town we hold dear, where the Lyme's gentle water goes slipping on through, and Newcastle market's been standing since new. Sing aye for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing aye for the miners whose graft never rests. Sing aye for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will give thee a cheer. Back in King Henry's day, the keep stood up tall, guarding the road and the folk one and all. From silver to salt and clay for the pots, it all went through yonder like as not. Sing aye for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing aye for the miners whose graft never rests. Sing aye for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will give thee a cheer. Drapers, the smiths and coopers and all stood up in the high street, big shops and small. And under the market roof, timbers so wide, the bellmen shout news for the whole town beside. Sing aye for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing aye for the miners whose graft never rests. Sing aye for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will give thee a cheer. Though the castle's long gone and the walls tumble down, the hard-hearted borough still beats in this town. And when the market bell chimes, we'll all sup a pint to Newcastle-Under-Lyme. Aye, she's proper fine. Sing aye for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing aye for the miners whose graft never rests. Sing aye for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will give thee a cheer. Back in King Henry's day, keep stood up tall. Down in a row, there were folk one and all, from silver to salt, and play for the pulse, would always lay under, we'll give thee a cheer. Come on then, me out and pull up a cheer. I'll tell thee a tale of a town we hold dear, where the Lyme's gentle water goes slipping on through. A Newcastle market's been standing since new. Sing I for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing I for the miners whose graft never rest. Sing I for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will gie thee a cheer. Back in King Henry's day, the keep stood up tall, guarding the road and the folk one and all, from silver to salt and clay for the pot. It all went through yonder like as not. Sing I for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing I for the miners whose graft never rests. Sing I for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will gie thee cheer. Drappers, smiths, to coopers and all stood up in the high street, big shops and small. And under the market roof, timber so wide, the bellmen shout news for the whole town beside. Sing I for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing I for the miners whose graft never rests. Sing I for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will gie thee cheer. The castle's long gone and the walls tumbled down, and the hearted borough still beats in this town. And when the market bell chimes, we'll all sup a pint to Newcastle-Under-Lyme, may she's proper fine. Sing I for the Lyme and the castle's proud crest. Sing I for the miners whose graft never rests. Sing I for the traders fro far and fro near. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will gie thee a cheer. Newcastle-Under-Lyme will give thee a cheer.